Hey friends, welcome to another episode of the 10 Laws Podcast with East Forest. I am the person sometimes referred to as East, which I've become more comfortable with over the years. This week I'm going to share with you some background about two new recordings I've put out. One of them is My Sweet Lord, the George Harrison cover that I did with the artist Anadi. And another one is coming out September 19th. It's called Seedling, live at Columbus Museum of Art. I'm going to play some of those and tell you just some background stories and how I created them and some meaning behind it. And I hope that gives you some more color into the music itself. But I also want to give you an update on, I just got back from some live dates. I was down in the LA area and I wanted to share some story from that and things like that. So I hope you're having a good time as the world progresses. Before I get into that, I just want to announce that I don't know exactly when they're announcing it, but I hope it's now-ish. But as I'm going to be in Australia on Gold Coast with Wanderlust on October 25th, there will be a couple other Australia dates in Melbourne. It's going to be on October 30th. And Sydney on November 2nd. Very excited. It's been since last time I was in Australia, and the only time was right before COVID. It was in February of 2020. I remember coming back on the plane and seeing a couple people wearing masks, and they were doing like the temperature things when you came across the border in Australia maybe. And I thought, this is odd. And then like a couple weeks later, we all know what happened. So with the time I thought I'd come back to Australia once a year. I was like, I love it here. I love this community, and it's just taken a minute to make happen. So I'm grateful to the Wanderlust crew for bringing me out. The Gold Coast tickets are up. Go to eastforest.org. You should see that. And as soon as they get the other ones online, we'll get those links up for those tickets in Melbourne and Sydney. But right after that, it's like a day turnaround. It's going to be some fun jet lag. I'll be in Kingston, New York, and on November 6th. And then it's like DEC, Springfield, Mass, Brooklyn, Boston, Columbus, Ohio, Minneapolis, Madison, Milwaukee, ending in Chicago on November 17th. So I would be very grateful if you are thinking of coming, and I hope to see you there. Get a ticket now. eastforest.org/tickets. Invite a friend. Some of these are starting to potentially sell out. So I'd like to see you there, and I'd really like to share this show with you. I just did the show, or this thing, in Santa Monica and Ventura, and that was really fun. It's such a like it ain't called live music for nothing, because it feels so alive. Like, it's a crazy thing. Like, it's hard to describe what it's like being up there and being. You really feel like all the energy of everyone in the room, almost like individually and, of course, collectively, all at once. And people have been so awesome in giving their attention, and just we're all of us being in the room together and making something happen. And when we do that, I feel like that's the whole point. That's the magic of something being created together through the music, through our attention. And it just gives me like, I feel the juju of like the energy of it, just because I just got back. So I'm looking forward to coming out to a Spirit Rock too in Woodacre, California. That's going to be right before Australia. So I guess that's the next thing. Spirit Rock, playing some music and some Ram Dass music on October 19th. So that's all part of this tour. And we'll see on the West Coast and some dates in Europe in early 2026. We just haven't been able to announce them yet. So it's all coming. It's all coming. But I'm sharing a lot of live recordings, and I'll put some together, go through those recordings from these recent dates on the Patreon. That's mostly where I can put up the ceremonies. I just shared like something I call the Algonquin ceremony. I think if you've been listening to the podcast or checking out YouTube or Instagram, you might have seen some little clips. That was a private event, so that's like something that I was psyched to be able to mix and share the whole thing over there. Going to be sharing like my stories and songs set from Esalen Retreat. And so there's lots more to come over there. And I'll give you some little drops over here too when I can. And I'll probably do some more conversations and interviews. I like doing them, but I'm still, it's a long story. I can't get into it right now because you don't want to just hear me blather about that. So, My Sweet Lord. So here's the deal. I've known Nick Delfs. He's a really talented musician, singer-songwriter in his own right. Definitely look up his work. Cool, indie, great musician. One of those guys that like plays everything. He's here in Boise, Idaho, and very sweet guy. Also helped me on a few building projects here at the house. I think he helped me build my sauna back when I did that, and just been a fan and admirer of his work. And he reached out at one point because he and his wife Anadi are Hare Krishna. And they're like, hey, we're making some, Anadi's making some, we want to record some of her songs. She's like this great singer, but I'd never heard her sing. So I said, yeah, I'd be happy to help you record. I think they wanted to record a song. And I didn't really know what the music was too much. So they came over and they wanted to do it all live. And I'm like, no problem. So we set up all these mics in the studio, and he's kind of doing like a kick drum with one foot and some percussion with another foot and playing acoustic guitar and singing, and then she's doing harmonium and singing, and she has this incredible voice. And the music is like, because of his musicality and indie background, it's like indie kirtan, super organic, minimalist, but like I call it dusty kirtan because I don't know how to describe it otherwise. It's very good. Like, I like kirtan, don't get me wrong, but it's not something I put on all the time. But this music, I actually put it on. I mean, I recorded it, but I didn't write it, and it's got a vibe. So I was so actually impressed with the vibe and the musicality and his music and her voice and what she's bringing to the table that I said, look, I'd like to help you record the rest of this album, which is a big endeavor. And so they said, okay. And we kept cracking away at it. And it's been years, like 2 years, 3 years. It took a long time. We tracked all the music, and then I produced it. I mixed it for them. And we're finally at the place where her full album is coming out. The album's called Anadi. So it's her and Nick are the musicians. And then I play on it too, but it's her record. And I can't wait for you to hear this whole record. I believe it's coming out in November. But the first single is this. It's My Sweet Lord. It's a cover, and I sing on just this one track. I play some piano and some organ and do percussion and things like that on some other tracks, but so does Nick and so does Anadi. So this song, like, I'm a big fan of My Sweet Lord. Who isn't, right? It's amazing. And there's been some cool covers of it out there. I think I heard this Nina Simone one that might have been one of my favorites, but not many that are piano-based. Normally we think of it as kind of this driving guitar, almost gospel song. And Nick played it on piano. That's Nick playing the piano. And I thought, this is cool. And I was like, let's keep flowing with this. And he did the percussion, the main pattern, and then Anadi did her vocal. And then I thought it'd be fun to sing around her and with her and weave. And I sort of liked all the different layers of that, both musically and thematically. And it was just a thrill for me. I've always wanted for myself, just with East Forest Project, to maybe cover this song. And it's a hard one to cover live without a band. So maybe in the future, I'll put a pin in that. But doing it in the studio was a blast. So I was totally down when they were thinking it'd be cool to put this out as one of the singles, and I was overjoyed. So that's what you're going to hear. So I think I'm going to just play a good portion of that now, and then we'll drop back into it. I'll give you a little more, and then I'm going to tell you about this next recording, another collaborative track coming out on September 19th. Here's My Sweet Lord with Anadi.
My sweet Lord, oh my Lord, my Lord, I really wanna I really want to be with you. I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord. I really want to know you. I really want to go with you. I really want to show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. Hallelujah. My sweet Lord. Hallelujah. My Lord. Hallelujah. I really want to see you. I really want to see you. I really want to see you, Lord. I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord, my Lord, my sweet Lord. I really want to know you. I really want to go with you. I really want to show you, Lord, that it won't take long, my Lord. My sweet Lord. My Lord. My Lord. My Lord. I really want to see you. I really want to be with you. I really want to see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord. My Lord. My Lord. My sweet Lord. My sweet
There it is, My Sweet Lord. I really love the second half of that song in particular, where it gets into the groove. I feel like the whole thing is like building to get into that space where we're just sort of jamming at the very, very end. And you can barely hear it, but right at the end of the fade out, you'll hear a baby cooing. They had a baby in the middle of this whole process, maybe two. It's been that long. So that obviously slowed things down a little bit. But they brought the baby because that's what you have to do. And she's tracking in between the baby. I remember one night, a little fussy, wanted to go home. And I was like, I need you to sing this last line. And we'd squeeze it in. But it's got a vibe. And I hope you're enjoying that. And I hope that's another just something we can add to the canon of songs of My Sweet Lord. So that's up wherever you listen to music. It's released by 108 Records. And definitely follow Anadi for the next two tracks. The next one coming out is called Keshava. I don't sing on it. I don't sing on the other tracks, but that's actually one of my favorites they did. It's a total groove. That's coming out soon in October, and I think the whole record's out in November. And there's these songs on that record that are just the kind of music you want to put on Sunday morning, and just got this, feels like sunbeams coming through where the sun's showing the sweet dust in the air. That's a naughty. And then I did this other track on September 19th. I have a song called Seedling coming out. That is a live track from an event I did at the Columbus Museum of Art. And this was an ensemble experience. So I was actually just improvising with an ensemble of musicians. A lot of great folks from Columbus. And Jesse Cale put this together. And he's one of the other artists listed here. And then he's got his group called Home, H-O-M, that they do all their stuff over there. At different venues, I think, around Columbus. But focused on music and ambiance and introspection. So they had other singers and strings and guitar. And I swear to God, they probably had 100 singing bowls. I'd never seen so many singing bowls in my life. But there are different stations throughout the room. So everyone's in the room, and you had singing bowls basically all around you. And then us on one side of the room performing jams. So he'd have these field recordings that would play, and we'd be creating these live jams over it. And this is one of them. And I brought my Soma Cosmos pedal. It's a really interesting, there's a company called Soma, I think it's Soma, that makes really strange, amazing audio pedals. And this one does a delay where I put my vocal through it and it starts to send it left and right, but it's at completely different times that continue to shift in time as it goes on. And it does this sort of blurring technique. So what happens is it's a very dynamic living loop in a way that's not the loop. It's almost very Eno-esque from back in the day. It just makes these really awesome textures. So it's fun to be able to use that at the show and have him hear it in this song, and to be able to sing with and play with these amazing musicians in this home ensemble. So thanks to Jesse for putting this together and for having the idea of, he did the initial mix on this. I just sweetened it up. And then Sean Hatfield mastered this, and he also mastered the My Sweet Lord. And they're continuing to do events together, and Jesse's going to open during the tour. He's going to play on the Columbus date that is happening on the tour here on November 12th, that particular date. So, we thought it'd be fun to share a little bit of what happened. The concert I'm doing in November is going to be my complete East Forest set, and Jesse will be doing an opener. But this is just kind of fun window into a live happening, a one-off thing and music that came out of that space. So very meditative, and definitely the point is to get you into a zone and hold you there sweetly so you can see what's sort of coming up and emerging. And I think you're going to dig it. So why don't we listen to that, and then I'll close things out at the end with a little bit more information, and I hope you dig this. This is Seedling, live at Columbus Museum of Art. That wonderful singer you're hearing in there, I believe her name is Keisha? She's great. Thank you to her for allowing me to sing along. The artwork for that, too, is this beautiful art lent to us by Mark Warren Jacques. It's mwj.studio. Beautiful stuff. So I hope you enjoy that. It's coming out September 19th, wherever you listen to music. You know, all of this is about inner fortitude in my mind, or like that's like the name of the game right now. I think about everything going on and the role of art and the role of introspection. And it's not about an escape by any means. It's quite the opposite. It's about knowing what's really true and reaching down beneath the noise so that we can connect into what we are. And from there, we can make proper decisions and actions in a place of truth. I got to hang out with my buddy Court Johnson, voice of 10 Laws, before the Ventura show, because he lives down there in those neck of the woods. And I was just reminded, you know, he was talking about how love is the highest truth. That's a line from Music for Mushrooms that he says. Truth is the greatest good, but love is the highest truth. And when you're in truth, or Maharaji speaking about, tell the truth, love everyone. In some ways, you know, part and parcel, they go hand in hand, truth and love. And when we're coming from those places, inevitably it's one of inclusion, it's one of bringing in, one of embrace. And it's hard to do when when we're being attacked and opening our consciousness and our attention to so much noise. And yet the good news is we do have the ability to curate our attention. And there's a difference between sticking your head in the sand and not being overwhelmed by the torrent of, it's like not eating too much sugar. You have a little sugar because it tastes good, so your body wants more. But you don't do that, or you try not to, because you know it's not good for you. And it's similar with information. Like it's coming at us from all different directions and in very, very smart ways. And it's seductive, very seductive. But you do have the ability and you do have this choice coming from the inside out on what you let in. And I encourage you, that's what inner fortitude is on certain levels. I encourage you to strengthen that muscle and make those choices. Play with it and experiment with what gives you more strength. Because we need you as you, but in the full blossoming of you, and you're sent in your truest form, in your truth, which has to be being connected to your internal center. Muji talks about it's a time of introspection. And so does Court, my buddy Court. You know, he also mentions that we're in a time of introspection, or the bell curve that we're cresting over from young souls to mature souls. And introspection is the calling, in a way, of our time. And it's kind of fascinating that while that's the calling, there's this counter energy that wants to pull us, that is, you know, seductively pulling us away from that through all these different means of distraction and entertainment. And so we have to, like we have to do with food or something, you have to be almost like a detective yourself and looking behind the motivations and means and trickery in what kind of food information you want to put into your system. And it all cultivates your energy. I mean, that's part of the reasons why we all love music so much, because it instantly changes the field. It instantly can change how you feel. And information, in a way, is a bit more insidious because it's like little seeds we plant, and they can percolate and grow over time in different ways, and how they all build and work together, and how our amazing spacesuit systems, our human being systems, adapt. How our nervous systems can take in so much. And yet, just because we can, doesn't mean that that's best for us. We get used to these things. We get inured. So in that way, I hope that music and these songs and these live events and the things we're doing here together in this East Forest community is one of a nexus point of ideas with the point of exploring and experimenting with how we can create tools and experiences and community for each other so that we can remember. Remembering what is true, what is truth. And again, this is an unveiling of what is, right? This is why it's called sometimes remembering. It's not putting on a lot of layers. Another good news aspect is that this is who you already are. It's just like clearing away the varnish, or cleaning the system a bit. It's all there. Like with a capital K. Not to throw too many pieces of information at you, but that's my next release after Seedling is the first guided meditation on an album I'm putting out called Lovingly Guided, and it's called Knowing with a capital K. I'll tell you more about that later, but it is exactly what that says. It's hopefully a meditation combining music from Lovingly and some guidance, spoken guidance to help us remember what you already know. You know with a little K, sure, a lot. And that's the information sickness. But what we know with a capital K, you already know. My buddy Court says, you know everything you need to know. You don't need to know who the president is. You don't. He takes it to some extremes, but there's some truth to that. Like there's a lot of things we just don't need to know, and we just happen to be able to know these days. And it doesn't necessarily make our lives richer. If anything, it's just filling up the cup in ways that it's just overflowing. So as you feel maybe in a sea of information sickness now or moving forward, if that comes to you, play with the tools, build your toolkit. Maybe it's certain songs or a playlist you can create, or certain meditations or certain techniques, drawing or writing a letter or going for a walk, or just taking a few deep breaths, or a particular mudra or yoga. Find what's fun for you. It should have pleasure involved, really, at least the end result. There definitely will be resistance to do it, but there should be pleasure involved when the action is complete. Just rest. Just the rest, so that you can have that place of inner fortitude and strength. You have to rest to be strong again. So that's my wish for you this week. Thank you so much for the support. I'll see the Counseliers on Patreon. For those that are there, it's free to join, to check out. And thank you for getting a ticket. Thank you to everyone who came out to Santa Monica and Ventura. It was great to see you. I was really honored to have you there. And looking forward to more. Y'all keep walking.